A report released today shows just how wide the wealth gap is in Silicon Valley and how the inequity is divided along racial lines. It's all part of joint venture Silicon Valley's index, and joining us now is to talk about their research is President and CEO Russell Hancock. Russell, thank you so much for joining me to talk a little bit about what you guys found. Your research focused on Santa Clara and San Mateo counties. Of course, that's basically tech company central. Are those jobs to blame for this inequity that you found?
Well, I don't know if blame is the right word. I mean, the tech economy is firing. It's just firing on all of its cylinders. It's creating unbelievable amounts of opportunity. And it's fueling wealth creation. But it's also true that we have other kinds of employment in the region, and those folks are not seeing the kinds of wage gains or the kinds of wealth creation that the tech sector is creating. And so as a result, we see remarkable income divides and wealth inequality in our region. It's as stark as any other place in the nation.
So what type of disparity are we seeing? Can you break down the numbers for me, the biggest?
Oh. Well, here's your biggest factoid. In Silicon Valley, the top quarter of earners are actually holding 92% of the wealth. The top 10% of earners are holding on to 75% of the wealth. That's the kind of disparity that we see. If Silicon Valley were a country, developmental economists would consider it to be politically unstable.
Wow. So, I mean, in terms of your research, when it comes to quality of life for people living in Silicon Valley, do you think it's increased or decreased over the last year or two?
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. We're an economy that's almost at full employment. We're back to where we were pre-pandemic. And yet, even though people are holding jobs, they're falling further behind. So there's a disconnect. It's not enough just to hold the job. The poverty rates in Silicon Valley are actually astounding. It's fully 1/3 of households in our region are not self-sufficient. And by that, we mean they're not meeting the basic standards for self-sufficiency, and they require some form of assistance from friends, from churches, from family. So yes, it's really stark.
And when it comes to inequality along racial lines and racial disparities, as well as gender disparities, what did you guys find?
Well, the racial disparities have been persistent in our region for a very long time, but it's really sobering to see them in the report in black and white, and they're increasing. They're not improving. They're actually in those disparities are increasing. So, for example, our Hispanic households are not meeting self-sufficiency standards. The average across the entire population is about 33% of households not meeting it. But for Hispanic members of our community, it's above 60%.
Wow.
And if you are a member of a Hispanic household where the parents aren't speaking English, then it's above 80% that are not self-sufficient. If you're in a Hispanic household where it's a single mother, then we're talking about 90% of those households are not actually self-sufficient. It's not quite as stark for our African-American residents, but it's above 50%.
Wow. I mean, 50 and 60%, that's not necessarily where you would think we would be in 2022, especially in one of what is considered wealthiest communities in the country.
It is. We are one of the wealthiest communities in the country. We have the highest housing prices. We have the most accumulation of wealth. And we also have the nation's biggest income divide.
So how do you hope all of this information is used, right? You gather all of this, you do your research, and you put it out. How do you hope it's used in real life? Well,
we need to be having adult conversations about the issues in Silicon Valley, and we're here to facilitate those conversations. And the first step is just understand. We need to understand what the facts are. We need to lay those facts out on the table. We need to provide the data, and we need to provide the analysis. So we are privileged to do that for the region. But from here, we have to be talking about some pretty difficult and thorny issues. How can we increase employment opportunities? How can we widen the pipeline into the tech sector. The tech sector, by the way, is making some progress, but it's not dramatic progress. The leadership roles and the technical roles continue to be filled by mostly white members of our community. Hispanics make up 24% of the workforce in Silicon Valley, but in our tech companies, they're only filling 8% of the jobs. So the disparities, so far, tech has not been the answer. And so we have to figure out how this growing tech economy can also be an economy where that prosperity is more widely shared.
Where can people find this report if they want to look further into it?
The organization is called Joint Venture Silicon Valley. The website is jointventure.org. And there you can download the report. And it also lives on a dynamic website where you can use all of the material interactively.
Oh, great. Russell, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a breakdown of what you guys found. Hopefully it does start and spark some of those adult conversations about what needs to be done to fix this inequity. Thank you so much.